afternoon and welcome to CHS Field on a beautiful Monday afternoon for the 2017 American Legion State Baseball Championship. Tri-City Red came from behind to beat Eden Prairie 8-6 on a walk-off home run by Eric Holloman to earn a rematch against undefeated Ham Lake. They are 4-0 in the tournament, and they beat Tri-City Red 4-3 in a thrilling game Sunday night in the winner's bracket final. In that contest, Ham Lake opened the scoring in the top of the first. Tri-City took the lead in the bottom 2-1. Then Ham Lake tied it in the second, took the lead in the fourth. It was tied back up in the fifth. Then Ham Lake scored in the sixth on an error. They actually had 3 unearned runs during the game and held on to beat Tri-City Red 4-3. Again, this started for certain last year because I know Woodbury Blue beat Forest Lake, and Forest Lake was undefeated, and they won the championship. So this is one game, winner take all. It is no longer double elimination. A little surprised in that pitching for Tri-City Red will be Scott Kaltoff. Again, there is a pitch count limit, and Tri-City has now had 6 pitchers for certain who will not be able to throw in the championship game. Ham Lake also has 4 of their better starters who pitched the majority of the earlier games. Sam Raiola especially did really well against Rochester, striking out 8. Seth Miller pitched most of the game against Tri-City Red, pitching 8 1/3, and only giving up the 3 runs. Starting here will be Logan McDonald. It looks as though Logan just finished up his junior year at Blaine. All of these Ham Lake players are from Blaine High School. So far in the season, 7 games pitched, 25 2/3 innings, 5 walks, very good 24 strikeouts, ERA of 3.55, and a whip of 1.17. So far in the tournament, he pitched 2 innings and gave up a hit, no runs, and struck out 2. Defensively for Ham Lake, first base Spencer Smith, second base Sam Raiola, shortstop Mike Gottschalk, third base Seth Miller. We'll get to the outfield here in a minute. As leading off is Jeff LeMay. He was 2 for 4 in the game last night. Bunting down the third baseline. The pitcher gets it, throws overthrows the first baseman into the dugout. I would say that's a hit and an error. At least that's what I'm calling it. That was a very good bunt. So LeMay reaches on the infield single, goes to second on the errant throw. That was one that McDonald probably should have just held on to, as that one's outside, ball 1. This is Ryan Nickel, who has certainly been one of the hottest hitters in the tournament, as it's a 1-1 count. He was 1 for 4 last night, and in the earlier game today was 1 for 3 and reached 3 times. Throw to first is overthrown the first baseman again. The run will score. Nickel will hustle back to first. He had kind of turned towards second, so just in case he came back, and now it's 1-0. So 2 errors on the first 2 plays, throw in a hit. And Tri-City Red strikes first, as we're going to have a little conference on the mound. Ham Lake does not have anybody there in the bullpen. I just mentioned that because Tri-City already does. Kaltoff will go as far as he can, And then you would certainly think Trevor Steffen will come in at some point, as he is one of Red's most effective pitchers on the season, going 4-1. So Nickel at first, always a threat to steal. He had 2 of them in the earlier game, the 8-6 win over Eden Prairie, as that's a strike across to Justin Langer. Yeah, they certainly rolled that correctly, a hit and an error, and then an error on the second one by Nickel. Hit sharply between second and first, rounding first, easily going to third is Nickel. And we have runners at the corners, still nobody out. Again, sometimes you have an advantage of playing that earlier game, and of course, Tri-City Red on that emotional high with the comeback win in the bottom of the 9th. Ham Lake coming in a little cold. And again, it is no longer double elimination. It's winner take all. That one outside to Ross Indelkoffer. He got the win as he came in relief, pitched an inning and a third. Shot up the middle. Great play by the pitcher. Aaron throw to second. Safe at second, safe at first, dropped by the first baseman. Oh my goodness. The throw to second pulled the second baseman off the bag. When he landed, he wasn't close to second. I don't know if you call that 2 errors on the plate. Well, I'll take some help on this one, but the bases are now loaded. Nickel had thought about scoring, but he's held at third base as that's a cross for a strike. The third error in 4 batters. You could almost say 4. That happened in the Tri-City Red Eastview game as the Thunder made 4 errors in an inning and ended up leading to the 11-1 lead for Tri-City Red back on Friday night. Sharply foul by Ben Jepko. Yeah, they are going to say 2 errors on the play. I'd say 1 on the pitcher and 1 either on the second baseman or first baseman, depending on how you look at it. I'd say probably the first baseman, as he dropped it. It was in the dirt, but it was a play he could have made. And striking out is Jepko for the first out of the first. And this brings up the hero of the third place game, Eric Holloman, who hit one into the bullpen for an 8-6 come from behind victory over perennial power Eden Prairie. Off speed is high. Ham Lake has only used 6 pitchers in the tournament. McDonald is one of them. Joey Messier is another man who could come in later, but he's the starting catcher. Oh my! They caught Ham Lake napping. Nickel scores. Advancing to third is Langer. Smart move by Nickel. He waited. Ham Lake was a little nonchalant. Now going to second base. Well, that looked really funny. Langer was not going from third. I didn't think he would anyway. But Indelkoffer ends up stealing second. Okay, let's see here. Langer at third, Indelkoffer at second. Already 2-0. And this is Holloman. Shot to the third baseman. Throw over to first. It's an RBI ground out to make it 3-0. There's manufacturing runs, and then there's this. So this is Joey Lawson, ball 1 to him. As a whole, Ham Lake didn't use too many pitchers on the season, swing and a miss. They are 20, 13, and 1 so far on the year. John Coelho, who's in the starting lineup, is another possibility to pitch. So is Luke Johnson. Actually, he's had a pretty decent season. But that's about it. Shot up the middle. Nice play by the shortstop, ranging over. Throw to first in time. Good play there by Gottschalk, who's had a very good tournament. But Tri-City Red scores 3 runs on 2 hits, 4 errors in the inning by Ham Lake. My, oh my. Batting order for Ham Lake looks like this. This has been their usual lineup. Leading off, shortstop Mike Gottschalk. Batting second, second baseman Sam Riola. Of course, he's an outstanding pitcher as well. Then the catcher Joey Messier. Batting cleanup is the pitcher Logan McDonald. He was 2 for 5 against Red last night. Batting fifth, the third baseman Seth Miller. He was the starting pitcher, ended up going 8 2/3 through 127 pitches before he had to be pulled. Then batting sixth is the right fielder Connor Melton. Batting seventh is the center fielder John Coelho. Batting eighth, first baseman Spencer Smith, and then left fielder Alex Winslow. The usual defensive assortment for Tri-City Red: Langer at first, Lawson at second, Nickel at short, Indelkoffer at third, Jepko, LeMay, Holloman across the outfield, Nate Fredrickson catching, and Scott Keltoff, the southpaw, on the mound on the season, 2-2 with a 3.42 ERA. One thing to watch for is he does have 16 walks and only 9 strikeouts on the season so far. Again, Solfest, Bond, Larson, Langer, and Kane are all out for this game, at least as far as pitching. Also Harold, after that tremendous outing against Eden Prairie. Hopefully he is all right. He was hit by a wicked shot up the middle in the 8th. So it still leaves you Holloman later, Davidson, and certainly Trevor Steffen. Mike Gottschalk, who's had a tremendous tournament so far on the season, hitting around 300. He's on base for the 4 days, 429, slow to third, throw over to first in time. Good charging play there by Indelkoffer. And this brings up Sam Riola. Riola hitting 267, 450 on base, and he was 2 for 5 last night against Red. That's a cross for a strike. Again, his pitching numbers were just lights out. 5-0. A .61 ERA, 12 walks, well over a strikeout an inning, and a whip under 1 walk and hit per inning pitched, which is tremendous. The third place game started at 10 in the morning. Got done about 12:30-ish or so, as again, Eden Prairie led 6-4, then 6-5. Tri-City Red tied it at 6. This is shot into right field. A nice hit by Raiola. Nickel walked, stole a base, scored on an RBI single by Langer. Indelkoffer struck out against the new reliever Pappas. Jepko grounded into a fielder's choice, 2 away, and then Holloman saved the day for Tri-City Red with a 2-run blast. This is Joey Messier, hitting .500 on the tournament. Pulls it. Great play by Indelkoffer. Stops, throws over to first in time. One of the better defensive plays of the tournament. That took him all the way, almost into foul territory, maybe even a little bit. He stopped, set himself through all the way across the diamond, and just barely got Messier. So 2 away. Raiola advances to second, and that brings up McDonald. Sharply to short, easy play for Nickel, and that will do it. For the bottom of the first, no runs, 1 hit for Ham Lake, 3-0 Tri-City Red after 1. This is CTV Sports coverage of the 2017 American Legion State Championship game. Three nothing, top of the second. Again, last night when Ham Lake came back to beat Tri-City Red 4-3, Red's defense uncharacteristically made 4 errors in the game, and Ham Lake shockingly makes 4 errors here in 1 inning, which led to 3 runs for Tri-City Red. This will bring up the 8-9-1 hitters, Ian Bond, Fredrickson, and Jeff LeMay. To third base, easy play there for Smith, and 1 away. John Solfest was the DH in the Eden Prairie game, and then Bond came in to hit for him in the 8th and hit a RBI sac fly. 1-0 here to Fredrickson. Line inside. That's across for a strike. Okay, they've taken one of the errors off for Ham Lake. I am going to guess that would have been on the throw to first, although it did look as though you could have put 2 errors on that play. Full count now to Fredrickson. There is no doubt that there was on the throw on LeMay's bunt single and also on Nichols. So 2 away here in the top of the second. That one outside. This one hit sharply over the third baseman Miller, as LeMay is quickly 2 for 2. Okay, so If I'm reading the tea leaves correctly, they're going to give, oh, I don't know. Maybe it's an error and then a fielder's choice as Endelhofer reached, but I digress. Nickel up with 2 outs and LeMay on first. Called strike on the corner, 3-1. Kind of in a half swing, and nice work there by McDonald to get out of the top of the second. No runs, 1 hit. So Scott Keltoff out for his second inning of work. Scheduled hitters for Ham Lake are Miller, Melton, and Coelho. And Ham Lake with a great tournament so far. They started out with a 9-0 shellacking of the Rochester Patriots at Dunning, the Tony Stone Field, then beat Moorhead late 14-5, and had a surprising easy win over Eden Prairie 10-2 Saturday afternoon at CHS before upending Tri-City 4-3 on Sunday night to go 4-0 so far on the tournament. Tri-City Red started with a big 6-3 win over Mankato, then a 16-9 marathon over Eastview. Saturday night, beating a very good Waconia team 4-1 before the tough loss to Ham Lake, and then the thrilling come-from behind victory earlier this morning and early afternoon over Eden Prairie. Here is Seth Miller. It's outside. One. Now again, thank you for reminding me about that. As both teams will make it to the regional. Nice backhanded play by Endelhofer. Throw to first in time. So this brings up the right fielder, Connor Melton. This one hit high in the air to left center field, and maybe a little lack of communication there, but LeMay finally gets after it, and it turns into a double for Melton. One away, Melton on second for the center fielder, John. The regionals are in Dickinson, North Dakota. And the national tournament is in Shelby, North Carolina. This one hits slowly to third, charging in into Coffer, but the throw goes off of Langer. Going to second is Coelho, and advancing to third is Melton. I would give that a hit almost. Maybe a hit and an error. They already did that once. Looks like just an error. So second and third, one away for Spencer Smith. Diving attempt by Nickel. He can't get it. That ends up getting by Jepko, but it didn't really matter anyway. That's definitely a hit. And 2 RBI for Spencer Smith. This one is fouled back. This is the 9-hitter, Alex Winslow. He pitched well against Moorhead, going 6 innings, giving up 3 earned runs. That one just missed, 1-1. Well, the scorer hasn't put up either a hit or an error. I'm certainly thinking that was a hit. Nickel made a great diving attempt just to get his glove on it. Okay. We are assuming it's 2-2. Slapped in between first and second for a hit. Rounding second is Smith, but he will hold there. So the inning continues here for Ham Lake. As it's now first and second, only one out, and back to the top of the order from Mike Gottschalk. Now they gave him a hit, and that's well deserved. Throw back down to second. They might get him. They do. He couldn't execute on the bunt. Smith came too far off of second base for a man of his stature, and so a pickoff play works for Fredrickson. That's something he is excellent at, and now 2 away. Outside. 1-1. 2-0, excuse me. Good stop there by Fredrickson. Dan Shea, John Camish, and Dale Irving doing the camera work today. Dale's been instrumental throughout all 4 days here of the tournament. Three and 1. Inside, ball 4. Gottschalk draws a walk. Could be bases loaded, 1 out. Instead, it's first and second, 2 outs. At least one of these runs is unearned. And that brings up the hard-hitting Sam Riola. On base 450 on the tournament, which is outstanding. That was coming into this game. And a nice hit in the first. And that one misses. Little high, snap throw to second. That one not in time as Winslow wisely staying a little closer to second. So here's the 2-0. Yanked foul. These teams did not meet in the regular season. Their first and only meeting so far was Sunday night. And it was a close game throughout. Hit sharply to left field, ranging back is Jepko, and he will make the play to end the second inning. But Ham Lake answers with 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave 2, 3-2 Tri-City after 2. Three-two Tri-City, top of 3. That one a little high to the leadoff man of the third, Justin Langer. This is high and foul. Excellent crowd on hand here today, especially from the Tri-City Red contingency. I think a few more people able to show up after the first game. High and inside, 2-1. Three runs in the first for Tri-City. That one's fouled well out of play. 2 for Ham Lake in the bottom of the second. So Eden Prairie ends up in 3rd place, going 4-2, and a strikeout. The second one for McDonald. Fourth place goes to Waconia after a banner season, going undefeated 26-0 to win the state 3A title. They end up 3-2, and tying for 5th are Stillwater and Excelsior, both also going 3-2. Ball 1 here to Ross Endlecoffer. Down the line and fair by the third baseman. Good job by the left fielder to cut it off, and wisely, Endlecoffer will hold up at first base with a solid single. So this brings up Ben Jepko, who struck out in the first, hitting .365 coming into the tournament. And the 0-1 is fouled away, 0-2. And there were 16 teams to start out the tournament on Friday, playing at 4 separate sites, 4 teams at each. We're down to 12 after Friday. Slowly hit to second, hustling to first, and out. On the Nick Punto slide is Ben Jepko. Advancing to second is Indlecoffer with 2 away. And after Saturday, we were down to 6 teams. And Burnsville, Duluth, Lakeview, Matamidi with 2 close 1-run losses, and Spring Lake Park, the first 4 eliminated. As that one missed. This is Eric Holloman, the hero of the Eden Prairie game. And all finishing at 1 and 2 were St. Michael, Rochester, St. Cloud 76ers, and surprisingly, Mankato. Low and outside. 3-0. Holloman knocked in the 3rd run of the game in the 1st inning on a ground out. 1. High, ball 4. Tri-City Red drew almost 10 walks in the Eden Prairie game and still had to come through big time with 3 runs in the 9th. Ryan Nichols scored the tying run as he walked, stole second, and scored on a hit. Hit sharply, 1 hopper to the shortstop, flipped to second, and that will do it for the top of the 3rd. This game moving along at a much faster pace than the Eden Prairie game, which is a good thing. So again, here is Joey Messier. He hit that hard shot down the 3rd baseline. That Indlecoffer scooped backhand, planted, made a really nice throw to first base. Two and 1. This one hit to 3rd. Indlecoffer, he's been busy, but he is an excellent 3rd baseman and makes the play again for the 2nd time on Messier. Oh, the Midway Men's Club has a nice advertisement in the tournament program. I know a few good people there. Two and 0 here to the pitcher, Logan McDonald. Just the 1 walk to Gottschalk so far. And now he can make it 2. So this is Seth Miller, who hit a shot down the third baseline that Immelkoffer backhanded. Made another nice play over. That's across for a strike. Ham Lake only has 4 players who graduated from high school this past year. The rest just finished their junior year. So we figure they'll be excellent next year as well. Hard to center field, venturing back, is the St. Scholastica ball player, Jeff LeMay. So now 2 outs here in the third. Connor Melton hit a double to the gap in left center. Oh and 1. And that is foul. This one hit to second, charging in is Lawson, underhanded flip to first in time, and that'll do it for the bottom of the third. No runs, no hits for Ham Lake after 3 complete. 3-2, Tri-City Red is continuing coverage of the 2017 State American Legion Tournament.
It is a first down, it's a 10-yard gain.
Top of the fourth, scheduled hitters are Bond, Fredrickson, and the top of the order, and Ian Bond with a bullet up the middle. Ian Bond certainly not built like a young man who finished his freshman year. He's listed at 6 feet 205. And if we do not see a bunt here, I would be shocked. Wade Fredrickson far and away led the team in sacrifices. Nobody pops it up, and just out of the reach of the catcher, Messier. So 3-2, top of 4, 3 runs in the first for Tri-City Red. That one just off the glove of Messier. Again, it seems like McDowell is trying to keep those pitches up, which makes it more difficult to bunt. And Ham Lake answered with 2 runs in the second. Outside, nice stop in the dirt. just missed. 2-2. This one hits slowly to third, throw to second for one, back to first in time for a nice double play. So that one goes Miller to Riola to Smith. 2 away and back to the top of the order in LeMay. He is already 2 for 2 and scored in the first. Strike one. Very shallow center field, ranging out as the second baseman, Rayola. What a play. And that'll do it quickly for the fourth.
Here's a first down. It's a 10-yard gain.
Welcome to the 25th annual Rose Fest Parade.
Welcome to this edition of the North Suburban Beat.
Hello and welcome to New Brighton Now. This is the show about the people, places, and events in the city of New Brighton.
Here is Coelho. He reached on an error in the second. Just missed. It's 2-0. Little inside. John Webb is the head coach for Ham Lake. Eric Feigum and Kyle Iverson are the assistants. It's now 3-1. Nick Anderson, head coach for Tri-City Red, assisted by Scott and Brett Becker, Lars Anderson, and Jake Hanslick. Ryan Nickel right in front of it. Easy play for him. Ranging over is Jeff LeMay, and he'll make the catch in left center. So quickly 2 outs. Smith knocked in the 2 runs for Ham Lake with a base hit off of Nichols' glove in the second. And this brings up Winslow, who also had a hit in the second. Hit by the pitch. It's the first one of those we've seen today. I just saw quite a few on Friday. Right across for a strike. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Coming into today, Tri-City Red at 29-10. Ham Lake 20 wins, 13 losses. And a game that could not be made up. outside, 2-1. Just missed the outside corner. Mike Gottschalk 0 for 1. He walked in the second. Outside corner that neither he nor the Ham Lake fans agree with. That one well high and outside, no question on that one. So his second walk, the third of the game for Ham Lake. And this brings up the dangerous Sam Raiola, base hit in the first, hard liner to Jepko in the second. Foul, just out of play. Over there by Vinci. Hit sharply to center, ranging in is Jeff LeMay with a nice running catch. So that'll do it for the fourth. Ham Lake again threatens but does not score. Still 3-2 Tri-City. After 4, this is CTV Sports coverage of the 2017 State American Legion Championship game. Two Tri-City Red after 4, all of their runs coming in a wild and wacky top of the first inning. That's across for a strike. Here to Ryan Nickel. Reached on the first, scored. You could call it a steal of home, actually. 1-1. Slicing foul, good cut there by Nickel. And he'll be going to Augustana in South Dakota to play baseball. They have an excellent program there. And something similar. Tri-City Red 4-1 on the tournament. Ham Lake 4-0. But again, this is one game for the championship. As Nickel a little late on the last 3. Inside. 2-2 now to the veteran shortstop. Good cut there to foul it away. Again, home team is predetermined. You would figure being the undefeated team, Ham Lake would get it anyway. And now a full count. Nice job by Nickel to stay alive. Again, McDonald pitched in 2 previous games, but only for 2 innings total. So I don't think that'll limit him too much here. Excellent at bat by Nickel to draw the walk. Here is Justin Langer. In the previous game today, he had a big RBI single in the ninth. And then Eden Prairie switched pitchers, and that's when Eric Holloman won the day for Tri-City Red. That one misses, 1-1. Again, Langer with a tremendous regular season, hitting .427 and leading the team in runs batted in. Outside corner, 1-2. Indelkoffer on deck. He has reached twice, once on an error, once on a hit down the third baseline. Runners going to the third baseman. No way you're going to have a play at second. So Nickel advances on the ground out. Smart move to send Nickel. As that was hit sharply, they might have had to plan him at second. Good job by Seth Miller. He pitched a whale of a game Sunday night, getting the win over Tri-City Red. Low. It's sharply in the hole between short and third. They're going to send the runner. He is going to be safe at home through a little off line. It goes off the catcher Messier, and wisely heading into second is Indelkoffer with an RBI single. And we're going to have a little powwow on the mound. So Indelkoffer advances to second on the throw home to get in scoring position as it's now 4-2. High to Ben Jepko. He is 0 for 2 so far. That one a little outside, 2-0. Fouled back to the screen on a healthy cut. Sharply off the pitcher's glove, McDonald making a nice play on it, and he'll get the out at first base. But advancing to third is Indelkoffer with 2 away, and this brings up Eric Holloman. An RBI ground out in the first, walked, and was out on a fielder's choice in the third. He scored 3 runs in the game against Eden Prairie with 2 walks and a homer. The only home run of the tournament for Tri-City Red, coming from an unlikely source. If I'm reading this right, it's his first home run of the season. Of course, Indelkoffer had 8 coming into the state tournament. As that one missed. 2-1. So a good opportunity here for Holloman. I think it was a 3-1 count that he hit the game-winning home run on. He was swinging for it there, a good cut. Back to the screen. Inside, that hit him. He would have gotten a walk out of it anyway. And so runners at the corners. Now to bring up Joey Lawson. Trevor Steffen, as we expected, is loosening up in the bullpen. And we've got a meeting here on the mound. See if we get a pitching change out of this. It does not look like it. Again, because of the pitch count rules, Lane does not have many pitchers left, at least with any experience during the Legion season. The only other player who has thrown for Ham Lake in the tournament is the catcher, Joey Messier. You would figure that would just be late in the game. Messier only pitched 7 2/3 innings on the season. 4 hits, 6 walks, 1 error for Tri-City, 2 runs, 4 hits, 4 errors for Ham Lake. Indicoffer at third, Holloman at first. Swing and a miss, and a healthy cut by Lawson. Runners going, throw to second is cut off. So an easy stolen base for Holloman. I think in that case you probably could have let it go. Indicoffer is very unlikely to try and score from third. But Ham Lake playing it safe, takes the force play out of the equation, as it's now 1-2 to Lawson. He had an excellent game earlier against Eden Prairie. Walk, RBI single, sacrifice bunt that he reached on an error. Hit sharply to the shortstop. Nice play there by Gottschalk, and that'll get them out of the top of the 5th. The Tri-City Red does tack on a run on the RBI single by Indicoffer.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Hey? Got it. No?
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Certain friend of mine, as Shannon Cole will enter the game for, I believe, the first time all tournament. He's going to go into left field. LeMay is going to catch. And Jepko goes to right. And Holloman goes to center. Well, if you're going to do it, now is probably a good time because Frederickson is due up second in the inning. And a quick ball one to Messier. Ooh, off the glove of Nickel. Even though it was hit hard, I believe they'll call that an error. Yep. So E6. So an entirely rearranged outfield. I think Stefan is ready whenever Tri-City needs him. Again, he had a great season, 4-1 with a 2.52 ERA. Just missing here to the pitcher, Logan McDonald. This one will slice out a play. And Nickel will make up for that very easily, getting 2 outs for the price of 1. On the 6-3 double play. So this brings up Seth Miller. That's across for a strike. No scoring since the second inning. Tri-City was up 3-0, and then Ham Lake made it 3-2. Outside. Again, this is awfully nice when during a contest you can bring in the veteran Jeff LeMay to replace another veteran, the two 2016 grads, Nate Frederickson. Popped up. After it is LeMay, and he'll make the catch in foul territory. And that will do it for a 1-2-3 fifth. Great job by Scott Keltoff as they erase the runner in the double play. 4-2 after 5. This is CTV Sports coverage of the American Legion State Championship game. That is really curious. Reed Conley, who is a very good catcher for Blaine, he only played 5 games in the Legion season. He's going to St. Cloud State next year. Healthy cut, looping to left. Ranging in is the left fielder, and making the catch is Winslow. So this will bring up for the first time in the tournament, Channing Cole. Channing Cole hitting .233 on the season. Played an awful lot in the high school year, of course, with Mounds View. Slept to first. Nice play by the big first baseman, Spencer Smith. And now 2 away here in the 6th. So this will bring up the top of the order and the center fielder turned catcher, Jeff LeMay. Well, we'll quickly do it for Tri-City Red in the top of the 6th. And here's Connor Milton. He had a double and scored in the 2nd. And grounded out second to first in the 3rd. Rounds across for a strike. Ranging back is Holloman in the right center gap and makes a nice running catch. So 1 away to bring up John Coelho. I hope I am pronouncing that correctly, or at least close. He reached on an error and scored in the 2nd and grounded out in the 4th. Two and 0. Now 2 and 1. John having a very good tournament so far, hitting .375, .474 on base. Hustling after it is Justin Langer. He tried an over-the-shoulder catch, but couldn't quite do it. So now it's 2 and 2. Outside, full count. Hit sharply to center, and that will drop in for a single. One out, Coelho on first, and that brings up big Spencer Smith. He knocked in the only 2 runs so far for Ham Lake in the 2nd. This one is going to nickel to Lawson to Langer. Another nice double play turned by Tri-City Red. And just like that, they are out of the 6th inning. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. 6 complete, Tri-City Red looking sharp, up 4-2. Top of the 7th. And this is the 2, 3, 4 hitters for Tri-City Red, led off by Orion Nickel. The only man to score twice here this afternoon. 1-0 to him. It's sharply up the middle by the shortstop. And the ever dangerous nickel back on base here to start off the 7th. So this brings up Justin Langer. This will fall into center field for back-to-back hits for Tri-City Red. First and second for Ross Indelkoffer. High for ball 1. Outside, ball 2. Indelkoffer has reached all 3 times on an error in the first. High in the air. Coming in as the center fielder, Coelho. Nobody will tag. He's got a good arm. He got that to third in a hurry. He also did have hits in the 3rd and the 5th before that flyout. So 1 away for the now right fielder, Ben Jupko. Ball 1. 2-0 here to Jepko. He is 0 for 3. Had a hot shot up the middle that McDonald made a nice play on in the 5th. It's fouled back. This is hit to medium deep left field. Ranging back is Winslow. Nobody tagging. And so it is now 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Here is Eric Holloman. An RBI ground out in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, hit by a pitch, stole a base, and was stranded at 2nd. The 1-0 shot is lined to right field. Right there, making the play is Connor Melton. So that'll do it for the top of the 7th. They do get a couple of hits. And strand 2.
Staring contest.
You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
It looks as though we might have a change here. No, I'd be wrong. Dismissed. So the first pitch hits Winslow. That is the second time he has been hit today. He almost kind of stepped into that one. That's the fourth time on the season that leads the team. I am assuming we're going to have a pitching change. Normally, Coach Anderson brings out a bottle of water if he's leaving the pitcher in there. So we have either Davidson or Stefan. Again, surprisingly, Davidson hasn't pitched yet, at least as a starter in the tournament. Okay. Kaltoff will stay out there for the time being. Davidson did pitch 2/3 of an inning and had a rough go of it, giving up 3 runs. This is Gottschalk. He is 0 for 1 with 2 walks. There's a ball there. Certainly Endelkoffer expecting a bunt. That's across for a strike. And the Ham Lake people dismayed. They thought that was high. Their opinion doesn't count very much. That one's outside, 2-1. Outside corner, 2-2. Yeah, as usual. Dale Irving is right. Adam Davidson is now the man warming up in the bullpen. I'm guessing Stefan might be out there too, but he's in catching mode. Charging in, nice catch made by the new left fielder Channing Cole, who came in the 5th. Channing Cole with a big play in the outfield. Yeah, it's an out. Okay. The coaches for Ham Lake, I think, are a little confused. I could have sworn he called him out. Oh boy.
That's terrible.
The way the umpire motioned there is he said no catch, and then he was forced out at second base, but we really can't tell. The umpires are too far away to hear anything. But we are now going to have a pitching change, and this will be Adam Davidson, 5-0 on the season, and a very well-deserved round of applause for Scott Kaltoff. So 6 1/3 strong innings for Scott Kaltoff. Gives up 2 runs, 5 hits. I think only one of the runs is earned. You could maybe even say both were unearned. But either way, a very good outing. As he spaced apart a few walks and a couple hit batsmen to get to where they are now. Runner on first. 1 away. Again, Davidson with an unusual motion. When you think sidearm, you think more around the belt level, but he's actually sidearm around the shoulder level. As he kind of slings it in there. And again, 5-0, the second most wins for Tri-City during the regular season and sub-state. With a 2.58 ERA. So we're ready to go. This will bring up Sam Riola. He has hit the ball hard all 3 times, but is only 1 for 3. Fouled away. Four-two, bottom of 7. Again, starting in the sub-state playoffs, all games are 9 innings, unless you get to the run rule. And we just missed 1-1. Big swing and a foul. Runner's going. Swing and a miss. Throw to second will not be in time. It goes between the 2 outfielders. I don't think that Winslow noticed it. Or actually, again, my mistake. That's Gottschalk on second. They're calling the force out, and that it was not a catch by Cole. So Riola is out. Gottschalk to second. And this brings up Messier. Hard shot. What a play by the second baseman, Joey Lawson. Leaping up and at the last second making a catch. So that keeps it a 2-run lead for Tri-City Red, 4-2 after 7. Tri-City Red looking for another state title going into the 8th. That one a little high to Joey Lawson. Isn't that always the way you make a stupendous play in the field? And then now he's up hitting right away in the 8th. A little low, 2-1. Lawson has hit the ball to the shortstop on 3 occasions so far. Hopefully he can avoid that again. That one's fouled out of play. High in the air center field, ranging under it is Coelho. So one out here in the 8th as again Logan McDonald doing a nice job with the exception of the first inning, but most of that was not his fault due to the 4 errors. They've switched it to 3, but again, the way that you normally score a baseball, and I've been at it a long time, I don't see how it could not be an error on that. It'll be 2 errors on the play, both the throw to second and then the throw to first. And this one into shallow left field. Coming in is Winslow to retire Ian Bond. He is 1 for 4 on the day. And so this will bring up Channing Cole. One and one. So worst case scenario, Tri-City will have the top of the order for the 9th. Swing and a miss. Very quick 1-2-3 inning as Cole strikes out. And that does it for the top of the 8th. Wayne had a very strong regular season, going 19-5 overall before getting knocked out by Forest Lake in the section playoffs. Well, they did that to a lot of people. Here is McDonald, and he takes a strike. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. And he hit into a double play. And here's one for Lawson. He gobbles it up. Throw to first in time. This one going into right center field, and that'll fall in for a hit. Rounding first, hitting to second is Seth Miller. This one goes to the wall, and he'll hold up with a stand-up double. So the tying run at the plate in the form of Connor Melton. He is 1 for 3. A shot to the gap in the second that dropped in, and then a good hit in the 6th that was caught in the right center field gap. One and one. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Here's the 2-2. Sliced into left. That'll drop in for a hit. Holding up at third base will be Seth Miller. So now the tying run on first with only one out. Second hit of the day for Milton. So this brings up John Coelho. He has reached twice. And he takes ball one. That's in there for a strike on the outside corner. On deck is Spencer Smith. He is 1 for 3. It's sharply to right. Ranging over and making the play is Jepko. The throw coming home is offline, but a big job by LeMay to gather it in, but it's now 4 to 3. So tying run still at first base, now 2 away for Spencer Smith. Spencer hitting .297 coming into today's action. Chopped, foul. And Coffer made a number of nice plays down there earlier on in the game.
Take it, let's go. Go ahead, Connor. Do your thing, baby. Let's go. Take it.
Well high and outside. Throw back to first. Just back in time is Melton. And being a home team is certainly a big edge this late in the game. Chopper to Indelkoffer, throw over to first in plenty of time. So Tri-City Red escapes the 8th, but not before. Ham Lake cuts the lead in half. It's now 4-3 after 8. We'll go to the 9th inning here of the American Legion State Championship game on CTV Sports.
It is a first down. It's a 10-yard gain.
So here is the top of the order, and the catcher, Jeff LeMay. He took over for Nate Fredrickson in the 5th. All 1 to him. Logan McDonald looking to go all 9 as it's now 1-1. Just missing low. Three and one. Again, with Minnesota's strong tradition in Legion baseball, both these teams you figure would have a good bit of success in the regional playoffs, but drawing the leadoff walk is LeMay. That is the 3rd time he has reached here in the championship game. Here's Ryan Nickel. Ooh, inside, gets by the catcher. The 3rd baseman was in just in case of a bunt, but he'll advance on the wild pitch. So now LeMay in scoring position, hoping to be an insurance run here in the top of the 9th. Pitch is high, 2-0 now to Nickel. Well, a walk here would set up the force play, but you're also bringing up 2 of Tri-City Red's most dangerous hitters in Langer and Indelkoffer. That's on the corner for a strike. Nickel is 1 for 3, but he has reached 3 times. Once on an error, once on a walk, once on a hit. Fouled hard to the screen. Full count. High and over Nickel's head. I'm sorry, we do have a new picture. It was tough to tell. You can't really see the back of the jersey number, and they don't have a front one. The new picture is John Coelho, the center fielder. He pitched 10 innings coming into today, ERA of 2.8. We cannot tell from here who the new center fielder is. Again, they don't really announce the defensive changes unless you can really catch them. So I apologize for that. Quick talk between Coach Anderson and Langer. So McDonald goes 8. Oh and 1 here. One and 1 here. Langer is 2 for 4 in the day, 2 singles and a run scored. Hit sharply to the gap. This will go for extra bases. This is going to go out to the warning track and all the way almost to the base of the fence. That will score 2, and it is 6-3 Tri-City. So a banner day for Justin Langer, as he has 3 hits, including a double, and 2 big runs here in the 9th. It's sharply right at the shortstop, and they're going to double up. Langer, boy, that's a case where you want to make sure a line drive is through, and Langer caught going the wrong way. And so now 2 outs here in the 9th. It was a good play by Gottschalk, but he was able to make it, and Langer was caught well too far off of second. But a big 2-run double gives Tri-City some breathing room. This might be another double. No, ranging over and making a nice catch is the left fielder, and that will do it for the top of the 9th. Two runs on 1 hit. And this will be the last chance here for Ham Lake. Again, 4-0 coming in to the championship game with consecutive victories over the Rochester Patriots, Moorhead, Eden Prairie, and Tri-City last night.
Here's a first down. It's a 10-yard gain.
Welcome to the 25th annual Rose Fest Parade.
Welcome to this edition of the North Suburban Beat.
Hello and welcome to New Brighton Now. This is the show about the people, places, and events in the city of Brighton.
So we have the 9-1-2 hitters here for Ham Lake. Again, in the 7th inning, the umpire's call was a little confusing. They ended up calling Mike Gottschalk safe. They said that Cole trapped it in the outfield. It looked like he caught it. But then there was the force out at second. It's now 1-1 here to Winslow. And the pitch by Davidson. Outside. Swing and a foul. Called strike 3 on the inside corner, as Winslow certainly thought that was inside from his indication. Well, now to the top of the order for Mike Gottschalk. He has reached base 3 times, twice on a walk. Also has a stolen base. That's a cross for a strike. This one slapped to short. Nickel has it. Throw over to first in time. And Ham Lake is down to their last out. So this brings up Sam Riola. He has had a nice day at the plate. Hitting the ball hard 3 times, but only has 1 hit to show for it. 2 hard liners. And good plays made in the outfield. First by Jepko and then by LeMay. And that's inside. This is crushed down the left field line, but foul. Two outs, 1-1 here to Riola. Joey Messier. The catcher is on deck. Ryan Nickel now has scored 3 of the 6 runs for Tri-City. And now Ham Lake down to their last strike. Outside, 2-2. The Tri-City Red was ranked second in the state going into the sub-state playoffs. Eden Prairie was fourth. Ham Lake was not ranked. Swing, foul tip. Jeff LeMay hangs on, and Tri-City Red has come back to win the 2017 American Legion state title. And a very happy dog pile on the pitcher's mound as Tri-City Red, again being the host team, made it to the state tournament automatically, and it was a good thing considering how strong sub-state section was. And Tri-City ends up going 5-1 to win the American Legion title. Scott Kaltoff pitches 6 1/3, very strong innings. He gets the win. And Adam Davidson pitches 2 2/3 to finish things up, and he gets the save. So Tri-City Red at 29-10 on the season. Ham Lake, the Blaine High School players, now 20-14-1, and again they both will advance to the regional tournament in Dickinson, North Dakota, starting later on this week. Three runs in the first, 1 in the fifth, 2 big insurance runs in the ninth for Tri-City Red, 2 in the second, 1 in the eighth for Ham Lake, and that was all they could muster. But again, really a no-lose situation in that both teams still go to the regional tournament. Well, a long but fruitful day here at CHS Field as Tri-City Red wins 2 in a row over 2 very strong opponents. First 8-6 and a come from behind home run win in the bottom of the ninth over Eden Prairie, and now a 6-3 victory over undefeated Ham Lake to win the 2017 state title. My sincere thanks to Van Shea, John, and of course Dale Irving. This is Jerry Otto. We'll sign off from CHS Field, wrapping up a very enjoyable 2017 American Legion State Tournament as Tri-City Red are again your state champions. Good day, everybody. Mm-hmm.